I began at a very young age, like 12 or 13 years old. All of my friends smoked. I just used it as a crutch, whenever anything would make me upset or anxious, I would reach for a cigarette or I would plan to smoke. I went through the program. I quit smoking. You were very positive and upbeat. And every time I went into the program for my daily sessions, I felt good I looked forward to it because I felt I was getting stronger and you were encouraging me. And now, 3 years later, I don't miss them. I don't crave them. I'm just so happy to live my life. And now that they're all gone, I find more reasons to be happy, more reasons to enjoy life. That was something I did a long time ago, and it was the old me, and I outgrew it. And you helped me do that. You helped me outgrow it. From a 50-year smoker to a 3-year non-smoker, life is so much better.
Hi, everyone. This is Nasya Davos, and welcome to this episode of Ask an X. Every Ask an X episode features an inspiring CBQ program member who broke up with destructive habits and found freedom. The X I have with me today quit smoking with the CBQ Nicotine Freedom Program, and he's here to share his story. Please welcome Bret Jaussen. Bret, thank you so much for being here, and congratulations for quitting smoking over 3 years ago. That's a huge accomplishment.
Yes, I agree. It was not as difficult as I thought it would be, but it was something that I really had to do for my health and my family, and the program worked very well for me, primarily because of the structure of the program. I'm a type of person that if I have a program in front of me that's structured and I follow the steps, I will complete the program, which is what happened for me. And the structure of the program really made it possible and really easy to do. Just stay with it and follow the steps.
Yeah, great. And I'm glad you mentioned that because you were a smoker for 50 years, right?
That's right.
And you quit in 10 days.
Yes.
That's incredible. And you say the structure really helped you.
And the fact that the personal side of the program that you brought out in me, my reasons for wanting to quit, primarily my son, wanting to see, he has a daughter now, and see her grow up. And I just knew that if I continued to smoke, I wouldn't be around long enough to enjoy them. And that was a real motivation, but that was brought out by the program. I really hadn't thought too much about that until I started writing down my reasons and really looking at myself and seeing the things that made me uncomfortable with myself. Once I realized how uncomfortable I was in regards to smoking, it made it more common sense to stop. It helped me very much.
Thank you for sharing that. So once you started really diving in to the aspect of quitting smoking, but also in the aspect of smoking, your relationship with it changed and you felt like, I don't want to do this anymore, right?
Well, I came to a realization about halfway through your program that I was smoking to avoid thinking about things. If I had some anxiety or stress, I would say, well, I need to go outside and have a cigarette. And when I would do that, I would put away those thoughts and focus on smoking. And I started thinking about what am I running away from? What am I running to cigarettes for? And the more I thought about that, I thought, I'm stronger than this. And your program helped me realize that there's more to life than avoidance. And that's what cigarettes were doing, is they were causing me to avoid my life. And now, 3 years later, I don't miss them. I don't crave them. I'm just so happy to live my life in the reality of what it is. And if the thoughts come up that cause me anxiety, I don't run off to smoke. I think about them and I work on them and I do the work now.
Wow, that's very powerful what you shared. Using smoking to avoid thinking about things. But you change that now and you welcome, it's what you said, the reality of life.
Right. Yeah, it's given me more to live for, more to think about, and the amount of time that I spent in the whole smoking, buying cigarettes, having cigarettes, running out of cigarettes, where can I smoke cigarettes, smelling like cigarettes, all of those things were unnecessary for me to enjoy my life. And now that they're all gone, I find more reasons to be happy, more reasons to enjoy life.
Wow. And that is very powerful because as smokers, and tell me if this was your experience as well, we have this very deeply ingrained belief that we cannot enjoy life unless we smoke. But what
Right.
you're sharing with me now is that the opposite is true. You started enjoying life more since you quit.
And I think that's true with many addictions. I don't drink anymore because I knew I wouldn't quit smoking if I continued to drink. So I stopped drinking. And it wasn't that difficult. Once I stopped the hard part, which was smoking, then I could stop drinking. And mainly because I wanted to succeed at not smoking so much that I didn't want to have a drink because I knew how easy it would be to fall back into smoking if I continued to drink. So I just said, okay, I won't drink. I haven't drank in 3 years. So it's just, it's all of those addictions that people put in the front of their mind that they feel like they can't live without until they do. And once you do, other avenues open up and other ways of looking at things. And I just feel so healthy and strong. I mean, at 68 years old, I walk in the woods 2 miles with my dog every day. I have energy to do it. I sleep very well at night, and I just feel excellent.
This comes through, to be honest, that lively energy. Yes,
Yes, I have a lot of
it does
energy now.
come through. Congratulations, Bret. And if you were to take me back, how did you start smoking and how was your relationship with smoking like over the years?
Well, I began at a very young age, like 12 or 13 years old. All of my friends smoked, and um, my mother smoked for like 70 years. And I just thought it was something that everybody did. And most of the people I knew did at that time. And I just used it as a crutch, whenever anything would make me upset or anxious, I would reach for a cigarette or I would plan to smoke. And then I moved to Australia, and in Australia, it was $25 for a pack of cigarettes. Well, that didn't slow me down. I kept smoking, right, for the whole year I lived there. And then I came back here and I thought, at $10 a pack, it was just so expensive and so silly. And all it was doing was poisoning me. And I just started thinking, I've got to find a way. And then I came across your program on the internet and I thought, this is what I need, structure. I need somebody to tell me, do this today. And then tomorrow you're going to do this. And the third day you're going to do that. And by day 10, you're going to be a non-smoker. And I truly believe that if I did each step, and I did each step word for word, and that's why I was successful. For me, that's what worked, is the guidance that you provided.
Mhm. Yeah. And it's important to highlight that because you did every step and you have shared that before. I did every step as instructed. You did that. And with the belief that this is what I need to do for it to work. And that's exactly what happened.
I think part of it was once I did all the steps, it was difficult to go back to smoking because I didn't want to discount all the work I did. It had value to me and I didn't want to just throw it away. Like other times I had quit smoking through hypnosis or some other type of smoking cessation methods that didn't really mean that much to me. So it was like, okay, I can start again and it'll be all right. If I want to quit, I can quit. But this one was strong enough and meaningful enough that I did not want to discount the days and hours I put into, making the effort. And the effort was valuable to me. And
Yeah.
you were valuable to me. So thank you.
My absolute pleasure. My absolute pleasure. This is very well said, because you invested yourself into this process. So in every way, your time, your mind, everything, finances, it's an investment and it's a personal transformation. And that's not easy to discard, because you changed in the process of it.
It's an accomplishment. I'm proud of it that I
Yes,
did. People who know me said, "Did you quit smoking?" And I said, "Oh, yeah." "How did you do it?" And I tell them all about you, and I send them your link, and I say, "It works if you guys want to do it." And I'm proud to talk about it. It's not like, "Oh, I did a bad thing and then I got over it." No, I did a good thing, a strong thing, and put the effort in, and it worked. So, no, I am proud of the accomplishment.
yes, as you should be. And being a happy non-smoker for 3 years, not wanting one, also using smoking as a catalyst to make other transformations in your life, like quitting alcohol, that there must have been something inside of you that was nudging you to also do that as well. You mentioned that you didn't want it to be a trigger, but it must have been something you have thought about even before quitting smoking, right? Even with the alcohol.
Just the overall health advantages. I not only quit alcohol, I began eating better. I began paying attention to what my doctors were saying about my health issues and exercising more. And it just helped me to turn my life around in ways that it all accumulated to feeling better about myself and healthier, and even entering a relationship, and I bought a dog. It's all of these things have just made my life better. And it started when I quit smoking.
Incredible. And because you've tried many, many things before, you mentioned hypnosis and other efforts. Apart from the structure and your personal investment in the process, what else you think was different this time? Because you created an amazing transformation in your life as a result of this.
I think it was the program itself causes a person to look at themselves introspectively, to look inside yourself and to uncover these reasons why you're doing this behavior. And it doesn't make you feel good. You smoke a cigarette, you feel worse than you did before you smoked the cigarette. It doesn't give you energy. You smoke a cigarette and you feel like, "Oh man, I'm dizzy. I can't do anything now." Or overall, the course of the day, you smoke a pack of cigarettes and your energy is so low from that. So it starts you to look at yourself and who do you want to be? This is who you were before the program. Who do you want to be after this program? And if you go through these steps, you will be this person. It's like you were very convincing about it. You were very positive and upbeat. And every time I went into the program for my daily sessions, I felt good I looked forward to it because I felt I was getting stronger and you were encouraging me. And those are the types of things I think that some of the other methods I used, like smoking cessation, where you smoked 4 or 5 cigarettes really fast and almost got sick or got sick. And then, oh, now you're going to hate that. No, that didn't work. It was more building myself up instead of tearing myself down so that I actually look forward to each daily session. And that's what I got out of it.
Yeah. Very well said and very, very insightful as well. And Bret, before joining the program, because I know you shared a lot of your real reasons surfaced during the process, but you wanting to try to quit and having tried before, why did you want to try to quit in the first place? What was your motivation there?
Well, my father told me one time, he said, "You don't see smart people smoking anymore. People who are smart and intelligent realize smoking is killing them. you come to the realization that you're actually poisoning yourself. Do you want to live a life where you're poisoning yourself? Are you that unhappy? And that really opened up my eyes to the fact that this is really a dumb thing to be doing, to take smoke into my lungs and to blow it out, and what it's doing to my arteries, and just the knowledge that I gained physiology wise, what it was doing to me, and how you're not a young kid anymore. You can't get away with this stuff in your 60s like you did in your 20s. So I think it was just the realization that how stupid it was to be doing something like this when, our whole society is about being healthy. And here I am smoking cigarettes, hiding behind a building somewhere in the rain to get a cigarette in, which is making me feel horrible and giving me acid stomach and all the things that came with it, losing my teeth and all the things that came along with it. It just didn't make sense anymore. And that's probably what got me searching for a way to quit.
Yeah. Your dad has a very wise perspective, and it's true. When we see smoking at face value, without all the emotional mask we put into it and all the power we assign to it, it is really that question: why do you want to be doing this? And that's a very powerful perspective. Yes. And when you found the program, I know the structure was a big thing, but what else made you think that, you know what, this could work for me? This could be the thing for me.
Well, I got the sense that you put a lot of thought and effort into the program, that you had refined it to the point where it was so effective. I really had a lot of confidence in you and the layout of the program, and I could see how step by step it was taking me down the road to being smoke-free. And so I had confidence in you, confidence in the structure of the program, and that's what sold me on it. And I think it just came at a really good time when I was very ready to quit. So that, in combination with the confidence in you and the program, was just the perfect reunion or union to, achieve the result.
Great. And during the program, if you were to highlight your biggest aha moment, what would that be?
It was when you had me list my reasons for quitting and really look at what was important in my life. And the most important thing in my life is my son. I have one son. He's my everything. I'm very close to him. I've always given him a lot of guidance and a lot of support and a lot of self-esteem. And I just thought, what example am I showing him when I smoke a cigarette? I'm talking to him and I light up a cigarette, and he's very healthy, and I've encouraged him to watch his health and to take care of himself and to eat right and all of these things. And here I am lighting up a cigarette. It just didn't make sense. I think that was the most impactful thing for me, was looking at my relationship with him.
And that's powerful, because we can share all our wisdom, but when we set an example, that's everything, right?
Exactly.
How did your son respond, react, or what did he say when you told him that you quit smoking?
Oh, he was overjoyed. He's a police officer, and he is very disciplined in his life and in his body and the food he eats. He's always been that way, very, very disciplined. And to see me do something that was so obviously needed to be done, because he was worried about me. I've had heart surgery, I've had issues in my life that there's no way I should be smoking. It's like the last thing I should be doing. And he knew that, and I knew that. But I was avoiding the reality because I didn't want to quit. But once I did, and I told him, and I think he was a little skeptical at first. Oh, you quit again, Dad, But then he saw, as time went by, that there were no cigarettes, there was no smoking, and he realized that I actually accomplished it this time. He was very happy for me. And I
I
think for
bet.
himself too, knowing I'd be around longer.
Yes, for your granddaughter as well, that you mentioned
Yes.
earlier. Very important reason, yeah. Um, and what is something that you were worried about or afraid that would happen after quitting smoking? And how did that worry or fear pan out after all?
Well, I was afraid I would gain a lot of weight. I didn't. I actually lost weight because I was more active. I In the past, when I quit smoking, I would replace it with walking or exercise when I really wanted to smoke. And then eventually I would start smoking again. But this time, I really made a commitment to not gaining weight. And it really wasn't like I had to starve myself or anything or change anything, just be more active. And without smoking, I had more energy to be more active. So that was probably one of my biggest fears. And of course, my number one fear was that it would wear off. Okay, great. I went through the program. I quit smoking, rah, rah, rah. 6 months later, I'll just have one. Then I'll have two. That didn't happen. So I think, however it was structured, it ingrained in me, uh, made it very difficult to even think about going back to smoking. I mean, that's the last thing I wanted to do. I wanted to go forward instead of back. I wanted to go forward with more exercise, forward with better nutrition, forward with smelling good, not having my clothes smell so bad, and all of that. Then I started noticing other people who smoked, how badly they smelled and how sickly they looked, kind of pale and
Mm.
just not well. And there was no going back after all that.
Thank you for sharing that. And I want to underline, highlight what you said, because I think a lot of people will benefit from it. Yes, you made the commitment, you did the work, you really, really dove deep. But what you said, I wanted to keep going forward. I didn't want to go backward. And that's what uh, hasn't even made it a possibility in your mind to smoke again, because you're going forward. And I think if everyone can take this away, that do you want to be going forward or backwards? Forward is a life without cigarettes. Very,
or
very, very powerful.
or stagnating where you are. Progress is a positive thing. Finding new ways to live your life and enjoy your life and feel good. To me, that's what it's all about. When I meditate, I do affirmations. Everything I do is to find joy and beauty in my life. And when I walk in the woods and I see it's springtime here in Pennsylvania and the flowers are starting to grow and the leaves are coming out on the trees, everything is amazing to me. And that's the type of life I want to live now. I don't want to sit in a dingy corner and smoke cigarettes. I want to be out breathing fresh air and smiling and laughing and having fun with my dog. Um, that's the choice. And I think that's the choice a lot of people want to make, but they just can't see it. And I think buying into the program, I think there's a financial aspect of it too, that when I made the commitment and it wasn't cheap and it wasn't, something, well, I only spent a few dollars. It was a commitment and I made that commitment and that helped me stick with it. But I'm investing in myself. And that's what people need to do is in all things, invest in yourself, invest in your positive attitude, invest in that going forward spirit. And now when you told me it was 3 years, I lost track. I didn't even realize it was 3 years. I thought,
That's good.
wow, really? 3 years? I never quit smoking for 3 years before. I've quit for a few months or, maybe a year, but never 3 years. So when you said congratulations on your 3 years, I was like, wow, I really did it. So that made me happy.
Yeah, yeah. And happy, proud, and the fact that you don't even count the days, you're just living your life. That's what this is all about.
Yeah, it's like that was something I did a long time ago, and it was the old me, and I outgrew it. and you helped me do that. You helped me outgrow it. And now I've just taken that into outgrowing a lot of things and making everything better. Every day I wake up, I'm happy to be alive, and I enjoy my life. It helps that I'm retired now, so I don't have to get up and go to work, but I'm glad that I can enjoy it and not be sitting around smoking and waiting to die. I'm looking for my next adventure.
Yeah. Or being dragged down emotionally by the inner conflict that says, oh, you should quit, no, you should smoke, and
Yes.
you don't have this anymore. Yeah. You mentioned that you're 68 years old. So you quit smoking at 65 years old, right? What would you say to someone who thinks that, I'm 50, I'm 60, I'm 70. What's the point in quitting smoking? I cannot change. It's too late for me. And all this narrative that people do say. What would be your advice from your own perspective?
My advice is it makes every day better. No matter what age you are, every day is better without, I should quit smoking. I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be spending this money. I should be breathing well. I should be spending time with my kids. I should be living my life, and I shouldn't be doing this. And everybody who smokes, I think, knows by now that it's not a healthy thing. It's not a good thing to do. And it takes all that away. I don't ever feel guilty about smoking. Um, I just feel good that I don't.
Great advice. Great advice. Um, every day is better in every way, not
Yes.
having to worry about it. Yeah. And Bret, what advice would you give to someone who has been smoking a long time, has tried everything? They have started believing that I cannot do it. I am stuck. I am the exception. I am different. What would be your advice to that person?
I would say find a program, commit to the program, and do the steps. Whether it's your program or another program, you know you want to stop. You know your life will be better. From a 50-year smoker to a 3-year non-smoker, life is so much better. And you have to find the one that works for you and commit to it and do each and every step. Don't take it like, well, I don't have to write this down, or I don't have to think about that. I get it, I get it. Okay, when's my time up? I'm going to quit. No, stick with it. Letter of the law. Follow each step. It's like a scientific program. It's a formula that you've come up with that worked for me, and it's probably worked for thousands of other people. And if you want to stop, do the program, do every step, and you'll stop. And you'll be so much happier that you did. I don't even think about the money I spent. I think about the fact that I did it. And I really normally don't even think about that. I don't even think about smoking anymore. It's like if I see somebody smoking, I think, well, that's a shame. That's too bad that they haven't found a program for them. And I'm not out preaching to people and going up to people and telling them, hey, you should stop. No, I found my way, and I'm happy about that. But it's odd that immediately after the program, it's like I never smoked before. I never even thought about it anymore. And it's been a wonderful thing. And I want to tell you, thank you. Thank you for your program. Thank you for your time that you put into it. It's a very good thing for humanity that you have done.
Thank you so much. That means a lot because I love this program. I love being able to help other people. And Bret, it's been a joy hearing your story and your advice. Thank you so much for sharing your insights, your mindset, and above all, your example. Being a smoker for 50 years, a happy non-smoker for 3 years, and just enjoying your life, and for taking the time to share this with other people. So thank you so much.
Well, I'm glad I could give back a little bit for all you've given me. Keep up the good work.
Thank you so much. And for everyone watching, leave a comment below and let Bret and I know what you're taking away from his journey, from his experience that can help you in yours. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.